Warrior, have you ever noticed it? How some men vanish from a woman's memory almost instantly, and yet others leave a mark that never fades? It's not about looks. It's not about a clever joke, a flashy car, or charm that turns heads. It's not about how smooth he seems or how confident he appears on the surface. It's something deeper, something invisible yet unmistakable. It's about how a man makes her feel, the energy he carries, the quiet strength in his presence, the unshakable calm in his soul. Most men, Warrior, they chase, they overperform, overexplain, and overextend themselves just to be noticed. They seek approval from every glance, every word, every small reaction. They forget who they are in the process, bending and twisting themselves into forms that aren't theirs. A Stoic man, he moves differently. He doesn't perform. He doesn't compete for attention. He doesn't bend for approval. He simply is. And that calm, unwavering presence, it leaves a lasting impression. It lingers in her mind long after the words have faded. It resonates in ways most men could never understand. When a man acts from inner strength instead of insecurity, when he leads himself rather than reacting to every whim, every emotion, every situation, he becomes rare. And rare, Warrior, is unforgettable. Today we're going to dive deep. We're going to uncover 6 traits that make a man impossible to forget. Traits that aren't taught in schools, books, or mainstream advice. Traits that separate ordinary men from the ones women remember forever. Pay close attention, Warrior, because understanding these traits will change the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with the world, and the way women respond to the man you are becoming. By the end of this lesson, you'll see the truth. It's never about trying harder. It's never about being louder. It's about being unshakable, purposeful, and fully yourself. And that, Warrior, is how a man becomes unforgettable. Number 1, master of his emotions. The first man she remembers is always the one who controls his emotions. Think about it, Warrior. Most men crumble the instant they face rejection, criticism, or disrespect. They raise their voices. They argue. They flail trying to prove their worth. They let their value be dictated by another's reaction. A Stoic man does something radically different. He pauses, he breathes, he observes. He allows the storm to pass without losing himself in it. And when he responds, it is measured, deliberate, and precise, not reactive, not desperate. Marcus Aurelius said, quote, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this and you will find strength." Imagine this, Warrior. She tests you. A sharp remark, a sly dig, a subtle attempt to provoke a reaction. The average man snaps, he defends, he reacts. But the Stoic man, he smiles slightly, he nods. He acknowledges the reality without letting it consume him. Then he moves on, calm, composed, unshaken. That quiet mastery, it resonates. It speaks louder than words ever could, because emotional stability doesn't just command respect. It creates safety. It signals that he cannot be manipulated, pressured, or destabilized. And women remember that, Warrior. They remember the man who didn't lose himself in the chaos of their moods. They remember the man who brought peace instead of panic. He becomes a standard, a reference point for all others, a man who makes them feel secure without ever demanding it. That is the power of mastering your emotions. It is quiet, subtle, invisible, yet unforgettable. Number 2, the man who listens. Next, she remembers the man who listens more than he speaks. Think about today's world, Warrior. Everyone is shouting. Everyone is fighting to be heard. Everyone wants the spotlight. Opinions clash. Interruptions happen. Noise fills every conversation. A Stoic man doesn't participate in this chaos. He pauses. He observes. He listens. But not superficially. Not with the intent of waiting for his turn to speak. He listens to meaning, to emotion, to the subtleties of what isn't said. Every inflection, every hesitation, every glance, he takes it in. When she speaks, he is fully present. Not planning his answer. Not searching for validation. He is simply there, silent, attentive. And that presence speaks volumes. You matter, I am here. You are seen. And Warrior, this is rare. Few men can truly give attention without an agenda. Few men can hold space without trying to fill it with words, opinions, or solutions. That kind of silent respect builds more than conversation. It builds connection. It builds trust. It builds emotional intimacy. She remembers the way he made her feel, heard, understood, and safe. Not in grand gestures, not with charm or flattery, but simply through presence, through quiet attention, through being fully there without distraction. That warrior is unforgettable. It is the type of impact that lingers in her mind long after the words fade. It's the difference between a man who passes through life unnoticed and a man who leaves a permanent mark on her heart. Number 3, he walks away in peace. Endings reveal true character, warrior. Most men panic when a relationship shifts. They beg, they argue, they cling desperately to what they cannot hold. A Stoic man moves differently. He doesn't fight for validation. He doesn't bargain for affection. He simply says, "I wish you well." And he steps away, calmly, without chaos. No anger, no vengeance, no drama, because he knows his worth is never determined by someone else's choices. That peace is magnetic. She expected storms, chaos, tension, but found quiet composure. She expected emotional fireworks, but witnessed mastery, patience, and dignity. And warrior, that moment lodges in memory. It echoes, it lingers. He didn't chase, he didn't plead. He let go with grace. That quiet strength, that self-possession, it earns a respect words cannot explain. She never forgets a man who leaves without fear or fury, because such men are rare. Number 4, a mission beyond her. The man who leaves an indelible mark is never defined by attention, admiration, or fleeting affection. He lives for something far greater than temporary validation. A Stoic man's life revolves around purpose. He wakes with intention. He builds his path. He grows daily. Drama does not derail him. Validation does not distract him. His mission comes first, always. Epictetus said, quote, "If you want to improve, be willing to be thought foolish and stupid, because your path will not always make sense to others, but it gives your life meaning." Purpose creates certainty. Certainty creates attraction. When she observes a man fully committed to his journey, she realizes, this life is already full, deliberate, and unshakable. If she wants to be part of it, she must earn it. That kind of dedication, warrior, is unforgettable. A man focused on his purpose carries an energy women can sense instinctively. It's subtle, magnetic, and permanent. Number 5, the calm in the storm. Women never forget the man whose presence is serenity, not chaos. Excitement fades. Passion fades. But calm endures. Most relationships collapse because they're built on instability, jealousy, drama, emotional spikes. A Stoic man exudes balance. Being near him is like taking a deep, steady breath after a relentless storm. He doesn't react to every emotional wave. He doesn't mirror the chaos. He remains grounded. She feels safe around him. She feels free to be herself. She knows he won't crumble or lash out. Warrior, that association is etched into memory forever. Peace is rare, and those who bring it leave a permanent impression. The man who radiates calm becomes unforgettable because he is reliably safe, steady, and unshakable. Number 6, forgiveness without words. Finally, she remembers the man who forgives silently. Forgiveness is strength, not weakness. It's a declaration. You no longer have power over me. A Stoic man doesn't seek revenge. He doesn't gossip. He doesn't obsess. He allows time to reveal truth. Bitterness has no home in his soul. When she sees that he lets go without resentment, she senses something profound. Respect, admiration, recognition of mastery she cannot easily define. Marcus Aurelius captured this truth best. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Silent forgiveness demonstrates control over the self. It communicates mastery, dignity, and freedom. A man who forgives without drama leaves a lasting imprint on her memory, because few possess the strength to release without retribution. And warrior, that is the kind of man who becomes unforgettable, not because of wealth, not because of looks, not because of charm, but because he carries calm, purpose, strength, and wisdom, and always, silently, unshakably, the unforgettable man, putting it all together. Warrior, let me tell you a truth most men will never understand. A woman never forgets the man who carries himself with a kind of strength that doesn't need to shout, a strength that doesn't demand attention, a strength that speaks even in silence. She never forgets the man who stays calm under pressure, the man who doesn't explode when life gets complicated, who doesn't break when others would fall apart, who breathes deeply, thinks clearly, and responds with intention instead of impulse. She never forgets the man who listens with full presence, the man who doesn't just wait for his turn to speak, but truly hears her and the words, the tone, the pauses, the emotions behind the emotions. Because presence is rarer than beauty, and far more powerful. She never forgets the man who walks away in peace, not out of weakness, not out of fear, but because he knows his self-respect is worth more than winning an argument or forcing a connection. A man who can walk away is a man who commands respect. She never forgets the man who lives with purpose, the man whose life is bigger than validation, bigger than distractions, bigger than the temporary highs the world keeps offering. Purpose is magnetic. A man who's building something becomes unforgettable in a woman's mind. She never forgets the man who radiates calm, the man whose energy softens the chaos around him, who doesn't mirror anxiety, who doesn't add noise, who brings order with his presence alone. She never forgets the man who forgives without bitterness, the man who lets go without losing himself, who closes chapters without hatred, who understands that inner peace is worth more than grudges. Because here's the truth. An unforgettable man isn't the loudest. He isn't flashy. He doesn't perform to impress. He doesn't chase attention, he attracts it. He doesn't need validation, he provides stability. He doesn't react, he responds. He carries quiet strength. He stays centered. He controls himself. He moves through life with virtue, wisdom, and emotional mastery. Long after conversations fade, long after the texts disappear, long after emotions settle, she remembers the man who chose peace over pride, purpose over attention, and mastery over reaction. Warrior, if this lesson hit you, like this video, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to Stoic Lifeline for more wisdom on ancient strategy, modern strength, and emotional mastery. And if you made it to the end, comment below. I walk the path of discipline. Thanks for watching, warrior. Stay grounded, stay calm, and walk your path with quiet confidence. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.